Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called Is German Trucking the Best? So I've never heard of German trucking being especially better than the rest, but also I don't really know much about trucking. Very curious to find out what this is all about, so let's check it out and comment, subscribe, and start.
Of all the nations in Europe, no particular country seems to have more love, or perhaps a more fitting word would be obsession, with transportation and logistics than the EU's main economic powerhouse, Germany.
Okay.
Boasting a population of just over 83 million people, Germany's position in the heart of Central Europe makes them the continent's king of international trade. With a cultural emphasis on practicality and common sense, the infrastructure of the country known by many names just might make it one of the best places on earth to be a truck driver. But I suppose those best able to discern the truth of that statement are the estimated 500,000 truck drivers who make their home in the nation adorned in black, red, and gold.
Wow,
the roads of Germany are dominated by renowned European truck brands such as Scania, Volvo, Iveco, DAF, and of course the popular German brands MAN and Mercedes. As one might expect, Mercedes-Benz is consistently the best-selling truck brand in the country, and though their price tag may seem a bit lofty, consumers find themselves repeatedly swayed by the manufacturer's long-standing track record of reliability and domestic dominance.
Yeah, makes sense.
Specifically, the Mercedes-Benz Actros is the most commonly purchased by German truckers, a model which has achieved success in many areas of the globe. In terms of styling, on the surface, German trucks may look quite similar to certain Dutch,
backing
French,
up in a place
Belgian,
in a car
and
like
Western
this.
European
Crazy.
truck designs, though there are a few differences which can be used to distinguish them on the road. As truck design is very much an individual choice, I'm speaking quite generally here about overall trends in the country, but German trucks tend to be a bit more muted in terms of colors than some other European nations. Unicolor designs featuring silver, black, white, and red are common, while those who do decide to have their trucks custom painted sometimes opt for more elaborate and refined artwork, as opposed to punchy and brightly colored graphics. In addition, Germany seems to be more reserved in terms of lighting, chrome, and additional exterior features, with add-ons such as bull bars being much less frequent than in neighboring Netherlands. Again, trucking culture throughout Europe is built on the backs of many countries and stylings, as the free flow of traffic brings design ideas across the continent. So there are plenty of German trucks which choose to be loudly colored, brightly lit, and with ample exterior modifications. If there's one thing Germans certainly do best, it has to be their roads. As of 2023, Germany lays claim to the 12th largest road network in the world, with a total size of 644,480 kilometers in length, almost all of which is paved. The vast majority of roads are in excellent condition and are maintained frequently, though in some more rural areas and select sections of eastern Germany, you may occasionally run into subpar stretches of asphalt. Germany is also home to the Autobahn, one of the only motorways in the world that doesn't have a speed limit in certain sections.
But truck drivers do have speed limit, right?
The best motorway network in the entire world, though other neighboring nations would beg to differ. While trucks do have to follow the speed limit on the Autobahn and other roadways, usually being capped around 80 kilometers an hour, much of truck speed is governed by internally installed speed limiting devices which prevent heavy trucks from exceeding 90 kilometers an hour.
Really? I had no idea.
Despite the regulation and probable disappointment that they aren't allowed to drive as fast as they please, German truckers are still lucky to be able to experience some of Europe's finest roads and landscapes.
Yeah, but this is dangerous.
On average, German truck drivers make around 46,000 euros a year, the 7th highest salary in the world, though many seasoned drivers are able to make much more than this. Drivers in Germany are limited to a maximum of 13 hours working in a 24-hour period, 9 of which are spent driving. However, they are permitted to work 10 hours, no more than 2 days a week. As Germany complies with EU truck standards, articulated trucks are generally kept to a maximum total length of 18.75 meters and a maximum weight of 50 metric tons, notwithstanding oversized loads and special transport operations. So, is German trucking the best? Well, really it all depends on who you ask and what you're comparing German trucking to. But at the very least, those who make their living on the roads of Germany are saved from excessive potholes, overwhelmingly drab landscapes, and the pains of navigating a 10-lane highway. This doesn't mean their job is easy, though. Far from it. So if you happen to live in Germany, or anywhere else, take the time to thank any truck drivers you happen to run into, and maybe just give them a little more space when you see them on the road. Thanks for watching. Please check out my Midtown.
You don't need to tell me that.
On screen right now and linked in the description below. I spent the better half of 3 months working on it, only for YouTube to shove it into a dark corner where nobody could see it. So I'd really appreciate any support on that project. It's by far the best thing on this channel. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and keep your eyes open for some more content dropping soon. Thanks again, and goodbye.
Okay, so very interesting. It was more about the conditions for the drivers themselves, and obviously the trucks as well. Doesn't really surprise me because yes, when I was watching, I was like, yes, it's true. That I think Germany as a country is it's known for having like, a lot of like car brands are manufactured there. It's a country famous for, its cars, because, they usually like make good cars. So it's like, yeah, it's not a surprise that the trucks are not an exception, because a lot of the car brands are actually the ones that also make trucks. I know that not all car brands actually make or manufacture trucks, but a lot of the brands that he mentioned are also the same making cars, like Mercedes, Volvo, and well, maybe those, because I don't think they make cars, and the others that I can't remember, I'm blanking out, but yes, I think maybe like, but he at the end of the day, he's like, Mercedes is probably the most famous one and the most known and probably the most popular. It's as in cars, because again, everyone knows that they are, they're expensive, but they're good quality. So it's like, if you have the money to spend, like, why wouldn't you spend it, wisely in something expensive, but in the long run, it's gonna be better. And I'm thinking of like what trucks, like brand, what trucks, what brand they are. And I think usually they are, usually you see Mercedes. Like, I think it's all over the world. I think they're, it's a Mercedes truck, like the most popular even in the world. I would think, yes, I'm going to start noticing, but I think they're very popular for a reason. But also besides that, like he was like, well, the roads are very good, which I think, yes, I don't know what it is, because I think I'm imagining like in Europe, usually the pavements and the roads are in better shape than most places, but apparently that's not always the case. It's like in some countries, yes, you have like really great like roads, not so much in others, but at least in I'm thinking, well, but it's Europe, like aren't all the roads good or they're properly maintained? Again, probably that's not the case, but it's like in Germany they are exceptionally good, and they obviously have the Autobahn and everything's like really maintained. And he's like, well, obviously you have like also beautiful landscapes, which helps if your whole job is just driving around. It helps that you're just like, it's nice driving around here, and it's not just, it's not dreary, and it's like, it's ugly, and it's like, no, I don't want to be here. But it's funny that he was like, well, you spend, I think it's mostly because he was also like, the annual salary, it's I think around 50,000 euros, which I'm like, I have no idea if that's a lot, like how compared to like the medium. But he said like, no, it's one of like they earn very well. It's a good well-paying job, which it's gotta be, because it's like driving one of these trucks, like it's not easy. It's not an easy job at all. He was like saying, oh, you have to like keep in mind, and like when you want to see like a truck driver, they don't have it easy. It's like, yes, I've never thought for once in my life that they have it easy. It's a really tough job. I think even just like learning how to drive one of these things is incredibly hard, and once you actually get the permits and stuff, it's not an easy job. You spend a lot of time on the road, which again, it's not always pleasant. Sometimes it's pleasant. Maybe Germany is more pleasant than others. But at the end of the day, you're just like sitting around driving for, a huge chunks of hours. And that's not, again, you just like, you want to break, because even if you really do like driving, it gets tiring at some point. And even if you do it, it's like, oh, it's fun. You're doing it on a road trip. It's like for 3 days or maybe a week. But these people do it like every day for years. And it's like, it gets tiring, I have to say, or at least I would imagine it. So it's like they do really have a tough job because of everything that involves, And besides, also driving one of these trucks is not the same as driving a car. It's like, it's heavy, like it's a heavy thing, and again, it's not easy. So it's like it's very hard. But they were like, well, you have to work. I think they have to, like, that's the limit. You can work up until, I think it was 30 hours a day, which it seems like a lot to me. But it's like, no, but you have to, like, maximum driving hours is like 9 hours. I think even 10. Because again, I was thinking like 13 hours driving, like that's a really, really long time to be driving. And even it's at some point, even if you're like, yo, you're feeling great, like your eyes get tired, like you're just tired in general, because again, you have to be like very alert. And I would imagine, again, if you're driving one of these things, it's like, it's even like, oh my God, I have to be like in like an insane mode. I have to be super careful. So it's like, it's even like, it's very stressful as well. So I think even like 9 hours driving, like every day, like 9, well, maybe you get like, I think 1 or 2 days off. It's like, but you're constantly doing it. It's a hard job. But it's like, well, that's why it pays so well. But I'm curious to see like if they, because I don't really know how it works there. But because you mentioned like the truck drivers, they own like the truck, like they have to like pay for the truck because they're buying it, and obviously they're responsible for maintaining it. But how does it work? Like, do you work for a company? As in, because obviously you're transporting goods most of the time. So it's like you're hired by that company, but, the truck, it's not, it's not there's no property of the company. Because I would think, because I don't know if it changes, like it changes from company to company or country to country. I would think, or maybe in some places like that, I know why I have the idea in my mind that the trucks belong to the company, and then you just sort of like, they hire the truck drivers. But I think maybe you're in charge of maintaining it. No, well, that I think falls on the company. You're just like paid to drive, basically. But the truck, and it's your truck technically, while you're still working there, while you're employed. But it's not your own truck. I don't know why I thought it was like that. I would never have thought that. No, your truck is your truck, and maybe you can just leave that company because you're working somewhere else, and you'll just like move, and then you'll move. You just like, I don't know, I quit, and then you move to another country, but you obviously have your truck because your truck is your own. So apparently it's like that, but I had no idea. And also because they get paid hourly, I think, or do you have like a contract like a normal company that it's a contract for like 2 years, a year, or whatever? I am very curious about it, and I don't know how it works, but apparently it's like, okay, so you need to have the money. Actually, I'm wondering how easy it is to get started on this, because it's like, if those trucks, I imagine, and I don't think I'm wrong in imagining like these trucks are very expensive. Even just like not a Mercedes one, maybe like the cheaper models, but they're still incredibly expensive. So if you're starting out, then how are you starting out if you don't have the capital to start this? It's like, no, I need someone to loan me a truck. Or even, I don't know, because even with loans at the bank, like I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this. So how do truck drivers start? I don't know. I'm thinking, maybe I'm thinking way ahead, or maybe there are some companies that also will hire you. Just again, they'll loan you the truck and you'll drive the truck. But and then obviously after a few years, then you move on the ladder, and then like I'll be able to purchase my own truck, and then I'll be able to decide like which company I'll work for. But yeah, I think it's very, very interesting, and yeah, I agree. I don't know much about trucking, but like he made it sound like in Germany it's a dream. So it's like, yeah, sure, why not? It's the better. It's better. Is German trucking the best? Yes, apparently. Why not? Although he also said, depending on who you ask, because obviously like if you ask people in, I don't know, Belgium or the Netherlands or Austria, maybe they'll tell you, no, our trucking is the best. But yeah, maybe they need to they need to do like a whole thing and asking truck drivers from different countries and see like, how can we improve your conditions? Are you happy? And see a comparison and see which one comes out on top. This is very interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.